is the 2018 Ford F150. If you know anything about F-150s, you know that there's a lot of power plants to choose from for the best-selling truck in America over 40 years straight. We have the entry-level V6, we have the 2.7-liter EcoBoost, we have a 5-liter V8, we have a 3.5-liter EcoBoost, and then we have a high-output 3.5-liter EcoBoost as well. However, one engine alternative has always been missing from the F-150 lineup. That all changes in 2018 with the new 3-liter Power Stroke. And when it's finally here, it produces a best-in-class diesel horsepower of 250 along with best-in-class diesel torque at 440 pound-feet, which in turn gives it best-in-class towing at 11,400 pounds, best-in-class payload at 2,020 pounds, and also, of course, best-in-class fuel economy at an available 30 miles per gallon. Now, it goes without saying, those are some pretty impressive numbers from Ford. However, after spending a few hours with this truck here today, I'm still left asking myself, is this diesel really necessary? Now, don't get me wrong, the 3-liter Power Stroke is a phenomenal engine in an already phenomenal truck. So what we're going to do in today's video is take a look at this 2018 Ford F-150 Platinum trim level with the new and amazing 3-liter Power Stroke engine. And at the end of the review, hopefully you can decide for yourself if this truck is worth it or not. Now, I want to give a special thanks to Kenny Ross Ford for letting me review their F-150 today. Their location, contact information, along with their full inventory will be provided in the description below. Now, we'll start with doing a quick walk around of this very beautiful F-150 in Magma Red. But I'm sure this isn't the first 2018 Ford F-150 review you've seen on YouTube. So that's mainly going to be an overview. And then we're going to jump in the truck and mainly talk about the new 3-liter Power Stroke diesel. Now, we already talked about the horsepower and torque numbers from this new Power Stroke, and when it's time to take this truck out on the road, we'll talk more about the engine, but I thought I would at least show it to you guys here so you can see what the actual engine bay looks like. Now, we all know the F-150 comes with several different trim levels. It's the entry-level XL, then it goes up to the XLT, and each trim level, by the way, has different equipment groups. After the XLT, it is the Lariat. It then goes up to a King Ranch. Then we have the Platinum, which is the second highest trim level you can get in the F-150 lineup, only edged out by the Limited. Now, of course, we also have the Raptor. Now, if you want to count that as a trim level, I guess that would be the highest as well. But being an owner of a Raptor and an XLT F-150 as well, I feel like the Raptor kind of stands in a league of its own. So as we move along to the tailgate here, typical higher trim level trucks now from the 2018 model year is that you get a big badging across the whole tailgate for the Platinums, the King Ranches, and the Limiteds. Now, for 2018, the F-150 did get a slight facelift, so taillights are upgraded as well as the front end of the truck. We have a new grille design as well as a headlight unit design, I would call it, because it looks completely different from a previous model year. Now, all the F-150s, they get different type of grills. This is specific to a Platinum, but either way, no matter what trim level you pick, the grille and the whole front end of a 2018 F-150 looks very different from a 2017. And with that being said, we are back at the rear end of the truck. And the reason for that is we're going to listen to the exhaust note, of course. With it being the first F-150 ever with a diesel engine, let's take a listen. Yeah, as you guys can hear, this new F-150 is very, very quiet with the Power Stroke. Some might not like that. I'm of the opinion that that's actually very, very nice. For someone that doesn't know much about diesel engines versus, a gas engine, I'm not sure that they would tell a difference. Now, we'll hear more of that once we're driving the truck. So as we transition over to the side of the vehicle here, we're actually going to take a look at the sticker. The 3-liter V6 turbo diesel is actually a $3,000 option, which actually makes that engine alternative very expensive. The 3.5-liter EcoBoost, which is the strongest in the lineup, is around $600 or $700 as an option if you want that engine. So picking this 3-liter Power Stroke is actually going to make a difference in your pocket. So what we're going to do now is jump inside, but before we do that, we'll quickly show the Power Stroke badges that you have on the driver's side and also the passenger side. Now, being a Platinum, you get power deploying running boards, which is very, very nice. The interior is gorgeous. We have black leather with gray inserts, as well as the rear seats. And being a crew cab version of the F-150, you have tons and tons of room back here. And we have heated seats in the back. You get 2 USB plugs, full power plug, additional 12 volt back here as well. Pretty humid day here today, so let's jump in, start the truck up, and get some air conditioning going. Even an EcoBoost engine sounds more than this does. Now, before we take off here, we'll do a quick overview of the interior. Now, with it being a Platinum, you have pretty much every feature available. Well, you do have every technical feature available in the F-150s. So we have blind spot information system, a little light that comes on in the side mirrors. We have adaptive cruise control. We have collision warning. We also have the 8-inch productivity screen here in the middle. And being a Power Stroke diesel, you see you have a little turbo gauge there as well. It's very customizable for the trip meter and so on. And by the way, during this filming that I've been doing, and the truck's been sitting still, it's brand new as well, it's not even got 40 miles on it, I've gotten 15.8 miles per gallon, and that is some highway driving, not much, but mainly city. And now the car's been running because it's very hot outside. I try to keep it cool. So fuel economy is actually pretty good for a brand new truck. We have the Sync 3 system, and we're not going to do a comprehensive review of that. But with this truck being a Platinum trim level, we do have massaging seats, which is very nice. Heated and cooled seats. We have a console shifter. It's not on the column on the higher trim levels of the F-150 either. But all in all, just very, very nice in here. Very pleasant. Beautiful interior, comfortable seats. But enough about that. Let's see what she's like out on the road. So what we have here, as we mentioned in the beginning of the video, is 250 horsepower, which doesn't seem like a lot in a big truck like this. But we have 440 pound-feet of torque, and that is available at 1,750 RPMs. So yeah, very low-end torque, and you feel that come on as soon as you put your foot on the gas pedal. Very typical a diesel engine. Now all the horsepower comes on at 3,250 RPMs. So I'm not mashing the throttle completely. This is a brand new truck, but it definitely has some pickup. There's no doubt about it. So let's talk some numbers. As we mentioned already, this new Power Stroke engine is a more expensive engine option and alternative in the whole F-150 lineup at $3,000 and also $4,000 depending on which trim level you pick. And speaking of trim levels, the Power Stroke is actually only available for a Lariat and above. So Lariat, Platinum, King Ranch, and not Limited. So the Limited will instead, in 2019, have the high output EcoBoost engine that's in the Raptor as an option, but not this Power Stroke. Now let's say you want to get this new diesel for a lower trim truck that costs less money, like an XL or an XLT. That's actually not an option unless it's going to be a fleet vehicle. So to even be able to get the new Power Stroke, you have to buy a truck that's definitely going to be over $50,000. Now, while everything about the actual engine, its performance numbers and so on is very impressive, you have to pay a lot of money to be able to get it. For instance, it's not the most powerful engine in the F-150 lineup when it comes to horsepower, torque, towing, or payload. That's actually the 3.5 liter EcoBoost. That engine has a 13,200 pound towing capability, and the payload is over 3,200 pounds versus 2,000 in this truck right here. Worth noting though is that the 3.5 liter EcoBoost has that towing rating with premium fuel. Now, premium fuel around the area where I live currently is at $3.75 a gallon. Now, diesel is known to cost more than regular fuel, which is true. At least around this area, it's at $3.45 a gallon. Regular fuel is around $3.10 a gallon. Now, I'm not really out to try to confuse anyone with a bunch of numbers. I don't really like that either. But I feel like that's sort of what it comes down to. It's a numbers game when you compare a 3 liter Power Stroke versus the 3.5 liter EcoBoost. Now, the diesel gets better fuel economy, no doubt. I'm currently at 17.7 for 34 miles driven during the day that I've had it. So we've concluded that both these engines have very good towing and payload capabilities. So the diesel has it at 11,400 pounds. The 3.5 liter EcoBoost has it at 13,200 pounds. Now, most people that own trucks, if they need to tow over 10,000 pounds on a regular basis, now I'm talking pretty often, are you gonna buy a half-ton truck, or are you buying a Super Duty? Heavy duty if it's a Dodge, or whatever brand you pick. Usually you don't have a half-ton truck to tow that much on a regular basis. So I guess what I'm getting at is that the max towing capability doesn't really matter that much when you compare the two top engine alternatives in the F-150 lineup, the Power Stroke and the 3.5 liter EcoBoost. No, I don't really think so. But still, when you compare the costs between the two engines and their capabilities, I'm left wondering if this new diesel was really that necessary. It's great, don't get me wrong, but it's not really improving what's already there in gas engines for the F-150. Except there's one thing that it's better at, and that is fuel economy. Because this engine boasts very nice fuel economy numbers. On the highway, it's rated at 30 miles per gallon. But there's a catch to that. You have to have a two-wheel drive truck in a super cab configuration. If you're in a super crew like we are here today, full 4 doors and 4-wheel drive, that changes to 25 miles per gallon on the highway. That's a pretty big difference. That's 5 miles per gallon. And of course, that changes the city mileage as well, which goes down to around 18, 19 miles per gallon. So I guess what I'm trying to say here, as an F-150 owner myself, where does it really fit in? I mean, and it's not knocking it that it's a bad new engine. It's just like, is it really necessary? I don't know. I don't really know. The pros are fuel economy. It's very quiet. It doesn't really sound like a diesel. So if you're someone that's hoping to, buy one of these and roll coal and big old exhaust setups and stuff like that, it's probably not the truck for you. So in conclusion, is the Power Stroke really worth it? Is it doing something to the F-150 lineup that hasn't already been done? Is it filling up a gap in the lineup besides just being a diesel engine? Is it cost effective? Is it making your F-150 better for the money that you're spending in regards to what it's giving you? It is without a doubt a great engine alternative to an already great truck, but is it going to be the right decision for you? You decide. Let me know in the comments down below. And once again, I want to give a special thanks to Kenny Ross Ford for letting me review their amazing F-150 today. If you live in the area and you're in the market, definitely check them out. All their contact information is down in the description as well. And if you're stopping by this channel for the first time and you haven't already and you want to, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.